Have you noticed there's a certain type of nastiness and ugliness when it comes to darkness and evil and negativity? That nastiness and that ugliness is a part of the darkness. When it comes to being dark and evil, there's a single point that they all have, and that's the point of not being able to let go. You hold a grudge against somebody, rather than let it go, they hold it in, and they get revenge, and they get payback. From there, they go to the dark arts, and they do a spell, or cast something upon somebody, right? And that casting of that spell is based off of the grudge they have for this person, that nastiness they feel about this person that they can't let go, that they're holding in, and they can't get, the only way they can get out is by releasing that anger and that frustration against somebody. And it takes physical form. In witchcraft, in doing this, when witches would cast spells, from there's a counterbalance, because they chose not to let it go, not to let nature take its course with the person. From there, the evilness and that corruption and that nastiness towards that person takes physical form. It takes physical form by a boil on their back, or a wart, nasty wart on their nose, or like their face just starts to shrivel up a little bit. The more they do this nasty stuff and negate stuff against people, the more grudges that they can't let go of, the more, taking things in their own hands and becoming gods themselves. The counterbalance is ugliness and nastiness, because to not be able to let go, to hold grudges against people, is a nasty thing. Of course, this also pertains to Star Wars. In Star Wars, where you see dark side users and Sith Lords, they have like a darkness about them and like a grotesqueness about their bodies. But with certain alien species, you can't tell. It's like, okay, well, is this person? Or is it, just their alien species? But if you look carefully, it starts with the eyes. It always starts with the eyes, because the eyes don't lie. A lot of people think that the Force is a light side and a dark side. This isn't true. The Force is just one. It's one unity. However, if you choose either than to listen to the Force and go and be one with the Force, but to take the Force and control it and do what you want it to do, then you become a Sith Lord, but then the counterbalance happens. And from this, by tapping into it, making it bend to your will rather than bend to its will, they call that dark side corruption. And the further and deeper you go to the dark side, the more of this dark side corruption starts to take place. And when it comes to using the dark side of the Force, just to tap in and to use it in certain ways and certain occasions, some of these Sith Lords end up like Count Dooku, to where you can't even really tell that they're even on the dark side. Others that fully indulge in the dark side and embrace it in its entirety, not only do they become evil and nasty and grotesque like Darth Sion, they could even get to the point where they lose their bodies altogether and just become an echo of this darkness that they represent. And so many people are Sith Lords and follow the dark side and, Jedi, I know it's about being the Sith and, all this darkness, but you have to remember that the dark side isn't stronger, but according to Master Yoda, it's not stronger, it's just easier.